Bug Tarot. So today, I'm not entirely sure what message needs to be relayed, but for some reason the phrase, like, what is coming true for you next? So that just kept cropping up when I was like trying to figure out what the theme of the read is. So we're gonna roll with it. I have no idea what this is going to be, and that's par for the course for me. So we're just gonna work with that. Yeah. So as always, there are timestamps in these decks are huge. Timestamps in the description below. So if you want to just jump to the read, we're going to grab some oracle cards. We also have our affirmation deck, and then we have the completely normal tarot. If you know, you know. And as always, some tarot cards. So we're going to be working with these tools. And I do try to list them all in the description as well, in case anybody gets curious. You just want to like check them out. But yeah, this is an interesting deck because it says it's a tarot deck, but it's not. It's kind of like a tarot deck reimagined and built from the ground up. It's also got like 99 cards in it compared to the 78 of a traditional deck. And while there are different suits, there are seasonal suits, but it is very different. So it's kind of interesting that the deck was called the Completely Normal Tarot. It's a it's actually it was a Kickstarter. One of the very rare occasions that I had some money to spare, I was like, you know what? I love this deck. It's gorgeous, like just the gold leaf and everything. And so the stars aligned. I was meant to have it. Anyways, all right. So what is coming next? Woo, for you. Okay, I got 3 of those. This deck also has some difficult imagery. So, that being said, if there is a card in here that is one of those imageries that may not align with, I don't know, but for some reason YouTube might get mad at me, we'll take precautions thereof. We'll do our best, but I've always felt that this deck in particular talks about some pretty heavy issues sometimes, and I'm not a person to shy away from that. I'm seeing this one. Okay, 2. But I also know that some things can be very triggering for other people. So again, I will more take precautions for those people than anything else. Yeah, YouTube. All right. I think this one. Was my enthusiasm enough? I don't know. I'm working on that. Alright, so that one. Okay. Go over here. Alright, then we have the Tea Leaf deck, which is what, 200 cards? Is big. Woo! Alright, okay. Yeesh. I'm gonna flip those over. Leave some of the suspense. You know what? I'm seeing that one. Let's grab that one. It's half of that deck. Eesh. All right. Okay. We got a lot of tea leaves coming out. Good gracious. All right, that one. We got a lot of tea leaves. Like, dang. Okay. How many? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo! We do have 2, 2, 2, wait, 2, 2, and 3. We have these. All right, let's see how this do. Ooh! All right, we have February, and we have March. Okay. Let's get these 2. Nope. People can't have bodies. It's fine. It says, you deserve love letters and grand gestures, not uncertainty and disrespect. Stand up. Ooh, okay. Let me make sure that rock isn't gonna... It's very wobbly. Is it good? Yeah, we're good. And your other affirmation, it says... Alright, she's wearing a dress. You are your own ride or die. Show yourself some damn love and kindness. It is a very sassy affirmation deck, and I love it for that. Okay. It's interesting that marriage came up. And we both have messages of, like, self-love. So I'm going to keep that in mind. So this card says, fall, fail, and fly. Ooh. And it said, this one is Apollo, divine messages. Well, you're definitely getting messages here. Like, dang. I'm gonna look more. We have the Winter Queen. Okatsu. I love this card. This is so goofy. I know I was talking all doom and gloom about this, but okay. None of them came up. It's fine. And the Waxing Gibbous. Ooh. Let me get a little cheat sheet for the Winter Queen. The Winter Queen. It does come with a book, but it also comes with this little, like, cheat sheet. And I do have the book because it is a girthy deck. Like, good lord. No, wait, that's Autumn. Ooh, the Winter Queen. That's right. Overwhelming force. Like, Winter Queen don't mess around. Okatsu. Okatsu is one of, like, the wild cards, I think. Yep. That's one of the wild cards in this deck. And the Waxing Gibbous is, it begins, the hunt is on. Ooh, okay. I'm getting a sense of, like, what is coming true for you next definitely stems from your self-worth. And with these two messages here, you deserve love letters and grand gestures, not uncertainty and disrespect. Like, stand up for yourself. Like, you are worth so much. You're your own ride or die. Show yourself some damn love and kindness. This could be something with the fall, fail, and fly. This is something that you could very much have struggled with in the past. Which, like, hats off, deep respect to you, because that is not an easy thing to do. Like, building up your self-confidence, especially if it has been hurt or damaged by outside forces, or even things that you internalized. You know, it could have been from your childhood, it could have been from relationships, could have been from family even, you know. That is not an easy thing to build up. And I get with Okatsu here, this wild card, this kind of fun, crazy, creepy, you know, image. It's just so unique and so just them that I get the feeling like that's you. You've been able to come into your own and like your inner child as well. You know, just being weird. It's okay to be weird. In fact, you're kind of embracing it. You're just like, you know what? No, this is me. And the Winter Queen as well, this very kind of, this overwhelming force, this image of someone who's not playing around. And I feel like when it comes to yourself, you don't. You are learning that. It begins. You're in the process. This is something you could have been working on spiritually as well. But this is also a process that, you know, it's like when it comes to embracing yourself, when it comes to having that relationship with yourself, you know, embracing your weird, unique you're not messing around. You're not. You're not. You're like, you know what? In the past, I have fallen. I have failed. I have not treated myself well. Maybe you put yourself aside. I get February with like this like very harsh winds kind of coming in the beginning of the year. Typically in the northern hemisphere it's very cold, and it's that can be pretty harsh. Also, when this is a timeless read, but it could be in the next season, whatever season you're in, the next one, this could be coming to light. Something could be changing with this, and it could be that you've been working on this for nearly a year. Could have been a long time you've been working on it, or things come to a head where you're like, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm taking steps to start this journey, or come to an end with it. Not, I don't want to say come to an end, because I feel like this, just speaking from personal experience, it's a constant thing as well. So it could be that like within a season, like maybe something's showing up to like remind you of your power, to remind you of your self-love. So let's see. Ooh, Weeping Willow. Okay. That is family sorrow. Torch. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Yeah, basically, and it's interesting that that one falls right under Apollo, which is the, god of the sun. We have the torch, we have sun, something illuminating. So this could have been a wound from family, whether that was blood family or chosen family, like someone in a close relationship to you could have very much hurt you, whether intentionally or even unintentionally. Pig, beware of greed. It could have been something unintentional. Or even both. Yeah, spear, heartache over what you no longer have. I get the sense you've definitely had to give something up. You've had to deal with sorrow that perhaps even wasn't your own. With family sorrow, it could have been like one of those things they talk about, like generational trauma that is passed down generationally. That could have been something that you were dealing with and working on as well. That is not easy. Wow, broom, new home, new attitude. Okay. Hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Fair woman, dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. Very interesting. Okay. New home, new attitude. From this, I get the sense like these are very much energies of the past. Here. This pain and trauma that you have been working through, and from that you've developed this enlightenment, spiritual development, awareness, your understanding of not just yourself, but also perhaps even the situation that you came from. Now, it never excuses the behavior of the situation or the people involved, but understanding it can give you that level of being able to like emotionally pull yourself back from it and not be as affected. Again, I am not a mental health professional. Please, if this is something you are going through or you are struggling with, absolutely reach out to a mental health professional, someone you trust, a counselor, life coach, whatever you need. I am not any of those. I am zero of those. It's just really awesome that you got these two cards up here that are so affirming about like, making sure this self-love, self-care. These two cards as well, the waxing gibbous. The gibbous is like the moon is almost full because it's waxing. it's getting bigger. Waning is when it gets smaller, so it's waxing gibbous. It's almost full. You're almost there. You are very close to whatever goal you had with this, whether it's maybe independence or, you know, emotional healing to a point where, you know, you can be that winter queen. You can be that one with the sword, kind of like, just like, yeah, okay, bring it. You know, you're embracing this fun, weird, you know, just uniquely you energy. And it's interesting, we have hand here and the fair woman, or someone with a feminine energy as well. Again, gender is meh. At least that's my thoughts on it. I have a feeling like this is going to accumulate in something kind of a new home, new attitude, a new outlook even on what is possible for you. And with the assistance and the help of someone. All right, so let's get some cards. The Seven of Wands. This is something you've really been working on. The wands, again, are a fire suit, and so it's a very spiritual suit. Again, we have the torch and Apollo up here with fire. Seven of Wands is about hard work. It really is. Like, it's the work you've been putting into it. The Ten of Wands. It's been a heavy burden. It's been a really heavy burden. And this is such profound imagery with, like, you know, you have this tree kind of growing out of this skull. Things may have shattered in the past, but that doesn't mean that they can't grow into something even better and more beautiful. 10, oh, 2 tens, dang. The Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. This was something that was both spiritually and mentally devastating to you. And in a way, there was, whatever trauma that was a betrayal. You know, and again, just taking an example, this could have been, let's say it was a parent or guardian who acted on this generational trauma. We'll just call it that. They acted out on this and hurt you. That is not something that a guardian or someone in that position should do, especially to a child. So the fact that you have made so much growth is incredible. Like, don't ever downplay that. I'm getting emotional now. And it's just, I love that, again, these cards came out up here of just like, you know, you've got this. You know, don't settle for less. Don't, you know, stand up for yourself and give yourself flowers and, you know, shower yourself in love because you are so worth it. With the Three of Swords. Yeah. Oh, wow. This was a big heartbreak. This was something incredibly difficult. And it could have been from a maternal. It could have been from a maternal source. Again, we're talking about energies, but it could have been a woman. And it's interesting because it's like, especially with this story, it was like the two were trying to help each other so much, but they ended up hurting each other. And so it could have been like there was not necessarily a conscious intention to harm. Again, that doesn't excuse the behavior. But even if it was an unconscious or they thought they were doing what was best for the situation, it still hurt. It still was harmful. To the Six of Wands. Heck yeah. We go from the Seven of Wands to the Six of Wands. So again, this I feel was very much talking about. It's interesting with the hands here as well. And it could have been in the past you were looking for guidance and you were reaching your hand out. And again, in this story, it's a little gruesome. You know, this person's fingers were cut off so they could not get to safety. But now you're in the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is about victory. The Six of Wands is about you have accomplished and you are being recognized for those accomplishments, for the absolute badass person you are. That is a recognition. And even if it does not come from a wider audience, I have the feeling that the divine spirit, whatever you align with, recognizes that. They see you. They see you, and they are recognizing just how much you have done. Yeah, this has been a slow but steady process. Another 6 as well. But you have been making progress, and it could be like sometimes the progress is so slow you don't necessarily see it right off the bat. It's not until it's much later down the line when perhaps you are confronted with something or a situation that in the past would have really triggered you badly, and then suddenly you are able to handle it. You embody that Winter Queen, and you're just like, no, I've got this. And then you see just how far you've come. Okay, we got the 9 of Swords and the Ace of Wands. What I was just saying with the 9 of Swords, of like being confronted with something that in the past would have caused a lot of anxiety, you know, and it could be even like for some, okay, this is the Oracle Delphi, but it's just like trying to control the situation by any means necessary versus letting things go and letting things play out. And I just get the Ace of Wands. I get the like writing your own story, not something that others have deemed of like, this is what you were supposed to do or supposed to be or anything like that. Again, embracing this wonderfully weird, uniquely you. Ooh, we got the Knight of Wands. Yeah, you get this. I'm getting that this card is like, I do what I want. And this character, if I remember correctly, kind of did. Just do what they want. They're just fierce and free, you know? Just embracing that. Page of Wands. Two, we have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. This, and the Ace of Wands, too. Wow, we have a lot of wands. The 6 of Wands. A lot of this wonderful fire energy of just these 2 cards especially. This childlike, embracing your inner child, the play, and just the love of life and everything that goes with it. And it's lovely that we also have the moon. She's crossing this bridge as well. So there are still things that don't necessarily, how do I say this? The phrase like still waters run deep is coming to my mind. And I get the sense that with the moon here, there's a sense that you've dug in a lot. And I feel like the rest of it is just going to come as it comes. Don't push. Don't like dive right in. Again, this like wanting to control the situation. And again, that can also be a trauma response. And with the moon here, there's a sense of like flow and things will reveal themselves in time. You've done so much. Again, that waxing gibbous. The moon is almost full. You can't rush the moon. You can't look at a waxing gibbous and be like, you better be full tomorrow. I mean, maybe in some cases the moon would be full. But if the moon looks like this in the sky, it's got a couple days or maybe a week before it's actually full, and you can't rush that. It's going to come to its fullness in its time. And it's interesting with the wax, and we have the full moon here in the background of this. So the full moon is going to come in time. So like it's not how do I, because I want to say like it's not over, but that's not necessarily like the vibe I'm going for. I don't know. All right, let's get some more cards. So I feel like what's coming true for you next, as we were kind of going back to our original theme, is what's coming true is like you stepping into yourself. Ooh, with Judgment and the Monkey King. You are stepping into yourself and your calling as well. With the, oh wow, okay, with the Tower and the 10 of coins. Okay, you have 3 majors in a row. That's significant. You have the Moon, Judgment, and the Tower. You're stepping into your calling because you've taken the time. It's interesting, both of these figures are like looking towards like this moon and this sun. You've taken the time to tear down the foundations around you. To just absolutely, I almost want to say like destroy them. Whatever you did was powerful. Was very powerful. You have rebuilt your tower. You tore it down. And it's interesting we get the 10 of coins. We have the other 2 tens, which are the very challenging tens. You get the 10 of coins because you have laid a new foundation. You've torn it down. You have rebuilt it. You are in the process of rebuilding it. From that, you are going to have a much more fulfilling and stable like outlook, and just the reality around you will shift to kind of match what you've been putting out. Oh, and at the bottom we got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I love it. I love it. We have Pele, which is a Polynesian goddess of fire. And it's interesting we have the volcano here because it's both destruction and new life. Because if you think of like a volcano exploding, like it destroys everything in its path. A lava flow will decimate anything in its path. But once it cools, it's such like volcanic around, like that ash and that soil is so fertile that so much abundance can grow from it, but it had to be destroyed first. So I feel like that is a very significant allegory for this message. So I feel what's coming true for you next is that you are going to have a recognition of just how far you've come emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically as well. I feel like in all of your bodies, there's going to be a recognition of just how much you've grown. And I have to say, like, what you've done was difficult, and it's probably one of the hardest things to do, especially when it deals with yourself. And all I can say is, like, I am so freaking proud of you. Just from my own experience and my own journey, like, I can only empathize with how hard this was for you. So keep going. You absolutely have this. You are getting so much spiritual recognition for what you are doing, what you have done, and what you will do in the future as well. Absolutely. Yeah, that's I feel like that's your message. So thank you so much. If this resonated, feel free to like and share or comment. And it's always lovely to hear from people. Just even if it's just like, this vibes. And let me know. You don't have to go into specifics, but if you want to just be like, yeah, I get it. You can put a little moon in the chat or something. In the chat. God, you can tell I used to stream. In the comments. But yeah, that's it's a pretty powerful message. So I'm glad we just kind of went with it. Because it was very interesting what came up. Alright, as always, again, please like, subscribe, the bell, all that jazz. It's super helpful. It means a lot to me. And we do have a membership over at Buy Me a Coffee if you want to further support the channel for $5 a month. And we post there about 3 times a week. So hopefully we will see some people over there. So until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video, okay? I love you. All right, bye-bye.